Okay, chat. So I don't know if you guys work like 9 to 5 or X, Y, and Z, right? Um, I forgot what I was gonna say. So I've worked quite a few jobs, right? And I had a job where I like couldn't literally take a day off because if I did, I wouldn't get paid, and there was no PTO or anything of that sorts, right? So I took a day off. Thank you for the points. Well, no, I didn't take a day off. I didn't even take a day off because because if I took a day off, I was gonna get paid, right? And you know what? When times are tough, times are tough. You can't just take a day off just cause, right? So I out here sick. I had the flu or something. I wore a mask. Don't get me wrong. I wore a mask. I'm not inconsiderate. But tell me how I was sick, right? They knew I was sick. They knew I was coughing up a lung or X, Y, and Z. And I wanted to just stay home and work because we had the option to just work remotely, right? And they're like, you good? You hanging there, right? And I'm like, no, I ain't good. Do I look good? I was straight up like, no, I'm not good. But I can't just take the day off. Like, I need payment. I need bread, right? And they're like, dang. All right. Well, if you need to head home early, just let us know. You don't get paid if you get head out early, right? So I'm here like, I'm like, bro, I can't just leave. And so I'm here coughing up the lungs, and I tell them, I'm like, I feel sick, but like, they say you're not gonna get paid. I was like, you know what? Then I'm gonna get you all infected. I literally was just like, you know what? If that's the case, y'all's all getting infected. I was like, you're all gonna get infected, chat. So I'm so petty. I'm just there coughing. I was sick. Like I'm not gonna cough on someone, but I was just like, and people were just like uncomfortable. They're like, I don't want. I got exposed by what's a rolling text? They're like, oh, okay. I can get 2 days late. Yeah, no, not me. I couldn't. So I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. I can't do anything about it. So I'm out here, just miserable. I was so miserable, chat. Insanely miserable. I couldn't even. Like, oh my goodness, the audacity I had to have. Like, it was just insane. So, I was fixed. I hate fixed salaries, but we'll get that to that another time. So then, I go to work the next week. Someone got sick. You know what they did? They finna let them work from home. They're like, I'm sick. They're like, oh, you can just work from home. They don't let me work from home. You know how ticked I was, chat? Cough your lungs out in front of as many people as possible. Yeah, they finna let me go in to work all miserable because they didn't want to do nothing for me, not for JJ, mind you. But when it came to everyone else, you could work from home. I was like, are you for real? I was so ticked off. And they're just like, yeah, after you, we're just like, heck no, we don't want anyone like this. I was just like, oh, wow, it's like that, right? But this company was just a-holes in general. So, like, at one point, I literally was having an asthma attack. They're like, you can take the day off again. You can't work remote, though. They had beef with me. They had so much beef with me. I was like, bleep you. I was like, no, if I stink and die on the job, y'all's getting sued. I was like, if I have to go to the hospital, y'all's getting sued. I was like, I was just like, they did not like that. Guess what? The next day I was told, your contract ended. They literally were like, yeah, we're not dealing with you. We don't like someone who speaks their mind. So I was just like, bleep all of y'all's. Anywho, but you know, I didn't say that to them because you can't. Even if they did you dirty, you can't do anything about it, especially you ain't got bread. So I was just like, all right. I made sure though. I was just like, I made sure. You got everything you needed? Okay, bye. So yeah, it sounds like they had beef. Exactly. Okay, yeah, it even say bleep bump when, you know, when you're stable and whatnot. I'm not, I'm thinking, I'm a brokey villainess, man. I was so sad. I was just like, I wasn't sad. I was sad and mad, but I was sad that, like, bread. Like, I'm just like, bro, I just need some bread. I just need to work remote. Everything. Heck no. Heck no. I did get a job, like, pretty soon, shortly. But it was horrible, chat. It was horrible.